Okay, today I'd like to talk about a creature in Arkansas. This creature is found in Fouke, some people call it Fouke, Arkansas. Now the Fouke Monster, which is named after the city of Fouke, the community lies about 50 miles south of Texarkana on US 71. The territory that this creature resides in is fed by the Boggy Creek and several other tributaries. Now this is not an area to be taken lightly. The Arkansas Fish and Game Commission, they warned visitors of limited access to this very dense maze of heavily forested lowlands. Now they recommend using maps and compasses, and it is not unusual for even experienced hunters to get lost in this swampy place they've got there. It would fit quite well for a monster to roam in. Now the Fouke Monster got its first attention around 1971. There were legends of a mysterious creature in this swampy spot in Arkansas. Researchers found something in the notes about 1856. They had accounts of a wild, hairy man that was attacking settlers in Sevier County. Now, coming forward in time, there are reports of a strange, man-like animal in the Fouke area, and it was causing quite a thrill, quite a scare to many people. There was a couple that experienced quite a confrontation one night. They ran into this large, smelly, hairy creature, and they said this thing was about 7 feet tall, red-eyed, walking upright. It reached actually through their living room window. Now, this of course didn't sit well with the people inside the house, and the owner managed to get some shotgun blast off and apparently run the beast back into the woods. But it gave them a night that they'll never forget. Now these victims called the town constable. He showed up with a flashlight shotgun, which he loaned them. Shortly after the officer left around midnight, the creature did return. The creature kicked in the back door, and of course the resident fired the shotgun again. He figured he had hit the beast this time. He went out in the yard to make sure that he had hit this, but unfortunately he stepped out into the yard and the creature grabbed the individual. He said this hairy arm just came around his shoulder, and of course the individual was fighting for his life. Screaming, kicking, punching, twisting, he managed to get away from the monster and dash back into the house. Matter of fact, he went so fast he didn't even open the door, he just ran through it. Now this homeowner was taken to the hospital. The doctors treated him for scratches, deep claw marks, and the county officials did come out and visit the scene at daylight. They discovered a series of large but unidentifiable tracks along the exterior where the house was damaged. The individuals that owned the house, they had really had enough, so they rented a trailer somewhere else and they moved away that afternoon. They did not want to spend one other night in that home, where the monster just might come back for revenge. And there was some residents that almost collided with what they said was a giant monkey. They were driving south on US 71 and almost ran into this creature that was running on 2 feet, quite upright. He was quite hairy, quite ugly, and he vanished off into the woods, giving them a night they'll never forget. And then another farmer noticed some unusual footprints in the soybean field near Boggy Creek. They got the sheriff and the game warden out, and they investigated these tracks and determined that they were 13.5 inches long, 4.5 inches wide, only 3 toes. Prints led into the nearby woods where there were broken limbs by the trees, rather high up the tree, so it looked like a very tall animal just crashed right through the trees, knocking limbs right off the trees. And there was a deputy sheriff in the area who just about hit this creature. He was on patrol and he caught this creature in the headlights of his car as this creature was jumping across the road, leaping, and actual several long leaps, cleared a fence and disappeared into the brush. Now, there were several hunters and researchers that were out looking for this monster, and they declared that if there was such a throwback creature, this ape man, that this area the Boggy Creek was definitely prime territory for this kind of a creature. So that's it for the Fouke Monster. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, share this with like-minded friends, and feel free to leave a comment. Thank you again. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.